Pass is complete, roaring upfield with that football still on his feet, and that's Aaron Matthews.
You're watching Pitt Beyond the Script.
Go out, do it to the best of your ability, and expect the other 10 guys plus the guys on the sideline to have your back.
Okay, you're trained, ready to go. You know what to do. Let me hear the we will win. What? We will win. What? We will win. 1, 2, 3, win.
Ward on the draw, gives to O'Shawn Allison. A loss of a yard. Pickett looking right, comes back left. On the slant, here's Taysier Matt. That's a gain of 12. Here's Alex Kessman. And Pitt has the first quarter lead.
He's back to throw, wide open. Catch at the 47, the 35, the 30, the 25, the 15, 10. Touchdown Panthers. That's the way you convert third down. In the shotgun, wants to throw it, big rush. He's hit, and he's submerged. Deslin Alexander, the sophomore defensive end from Pompano Beach.
Well, that pocket converged, and it converged quick.
Vincent Davis, first carry of the day, and it's a touchdown.
Play action, big rush. He throws it to nobody.
Rourke is going to be sacked again.
Sacked back at the 11-yard line. Jalen Twyman, the sophomore defensive tackle.
This defense has shown, in I think in 2 weeks, that they can really play, and they've got the ability to get after the passer.
I'm possessed by this man. I got his gloves on. Come on, man.
It starts as a game, a gathering of friends. And slowly, as some begin to sit back, others stand out. The joy of playing turns to passion. And as the skills develop, so do the minds. And they begin to seek challenges, peers, and mentors to further their abilities and opportunities. The love and passion becomes a thirst for people in a place
We make history today in Pittsburgh.
that will embrace and push, a hunger for excellence, and to be in and among champions. These are the dreamers, scholars, leaders. These are the guides, teachers, mentors. And this is the opportunity, the challenge, the place. This is Pitt Beyond the Script.
This week on Pitt Beyond the Script, the glow of the victory lights shine brightly with the Panthers' victory at Heinz Field.
He's hit and sacked. Touchdown Panthers, 74 yards.
A weekend of shutouts for the Pitt volleyball team, which started at PPG Arena and ended in the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. And wins on the pitch at Ambrose Urbanic Field. We'll spend some time with Coach Randy Waldrum and his squad. And off the court, we visit with Coach Capel and his Panthers as they recap the sights and games from their summer trip to Italy.
So trying to use all these different things, again, to help teach, to help them learn, and to help us become a team.
Plus, our cameras are there, bright and early, as the Panthers softball team joins Director of Athletics Heather Like on her morning run. This week on Pitt Beyond the Script. Hello and welcome to Pitt Beyond the Script alongside head coach Pat Narduzzi. I'm Rob King of AT&T Sportsnet. Coach, you get your first victory of the season and you do it against a team favored to win the MAC in Ohio 20-10. What do you think about getting your first win of the year?
Obviously, extremely excited. Excited for that locker room and our kids. I think, it's tough. It's tough as a coach coming in on a Sunday after a loss. It's tough as a player. So I'm excited for our kids. You get that first one under your belt against a good Ohio football team that's well coached, disciplined, and probably came in and played one of their better games. I mean, they were giving it everything they had. They played hard. They played tough on all three phases.
We'll enjoy this one. okay, and work to get better, okay? That was a team win. It took everybody. It took special teams, it took offense, it took defense to get it done, okay?
Wanted to talk to you about the defense. That's coming up. First, let's take a look at your offense. Kenny Pickett puts up career numbers. What did you think of Kenny's performance?
You know, I was obviously happy for Kenny. Kenny works as hard as anybody in this program, coach or player. And to watch him it's a process. New quarterback coach, new offense, new system. And, he played well in the system. He got the ball out. There were some just throws that were outstanding for a quarterback, probably like you used to throw the ball.
Thankfully, not like that.
But, I mean, he just made some throws, and he could still throw it even more on time. I mean, there's some hits he took that we got to release it. So I think every week his timing is going to get better.
There's a man wide open. Catch at the 47. Maurice French on his way at the 40, the 35, the 30, the 25, the 15, 10. Touchdown Panthers, 74 yards.
Maurice French, 75-yard touchdown. And by the way, a career game for Maurice French as well. Can you take us through that 75-yard touchdown?
It was kind of it was a little longer, and it really was a little bit of a scramble, scramble rules for Maurice. And, the one thing I'll say about our receivers right now is they're getting open. He's finding space. There's a couple of times where whether it was Trey Tipton found a window to throw the ball in. So I think, Maurice, found a window. Kenny got it to him, and then, Frenchie's legs did the rest.
Running for the end zone, and that's Vincent Davis, the freshman, for the 2-yard run off the left side. Touchdown.
Vincent Davis, freshman, first career touchdown. I'd like to celebrate first. What was it like putting him in that situation and seeing him score his first touchdown?
Obviously, really happy for him. After the game, he's asking, Coach, can I have the game ball? Can I have that ball that I scored a touchdown with? I was like, heck no, man. That's only one touchdown you scored. Now you want me to, make it gold for you too. But no, I was happy for him. And I think our team was. You see how much excitement they got for him. And it's because they've seen what he's done in practice, and they've seen him prepare and get into that game. So I think everybody was excited for him.
How's that for your third career carry? Nice job on this drive, not only throwing the football, but give the pass protection unit an A+ on this drive.
We hit the rewind button, go back to the beginning of camp. A lot of people questions about the offensive line. You're replacing some guys with some new guys. Now we fast forward to 2 weeks into the season. What have you thought about that unit?
I think, again, it's a work in progress. I mean, even, I think we're probably a little bit further ahead right now with our O-line than where we were after 2 games last year. So I think it's something we just got to continue to see the progress, as the season goes on, to really put a grade on it. But I'm happy with where they are.
And we'll be talking about Penn State coming up in just a little bit. 17-3 at the half. It looked like you might be able to blow Ohio out of the water, but you threw the ball effectively in the first half. You ran the ball effectively in the second half, especially when you needed to chew up some clock and kind of put the game away. 2 different styles of offense almost.
Well, again, we're trying to work what we have and win a football game at the same time, and it's just a matter of, hey, what do we want to do in the second half? Well, obviously, there's a little bit of a plan behind what we did. We felt comfortable. We kind of felt like, okay, who's our running backs? I think you start to solidify who that guy is, who's a hot hand, and then kind of, see what we can do with it.
Still some adaptation to Coach Whipple because you were so run heavy prior to Coach Whipple coming on board, and then we see Kenny Pickett with a career game, but then again in the second half, able to run the football effectively. Is there still kind of a feeling out process a little bit with the offense?
Yeah, for me, for the offensive staff, for our kids, I think there's still, we're trying to figure out what we do well, and I think that's all part of the process.
He keeps it, and he pays the price. Big rush. He's hit and sacked by a blitzing Kylan Johnson. Sacked back at the 11-yard line by Jalen Twyman.
I wanted to talk to you about the defense because just outstanding. And look, if you had talked about the Camp and Weaver injuries at this point of the season, and then still seeing wave after wave of defensive linemen, Jalen Twyman, 3 sacks in the game. What an incredible performance by him.
Yeah, Jalen's been playing like that all camp. He's a different guy than he was a year ago, and we need some other guys to step up and be as productive as he was. But I'm happy with where that defense is right now. We still got a ways to go. There's still a lot of details that you won't see with the naked eye or that camera zoomed in on a guy, but we have a lot of improvements to make, and we can be better.
Well, a couple guys, again, I want to mention some guys because they've turned in strong performances. Again, Deslin Alexander, you talked about him in camp. Sack last week, a sack this week, and then Wendell Davis comes up with his first career sack as well.
Yeah, it was good for both those guys. I mean, guys playing their first really meaningful time in a football game, and Wendell comes up with really that, and also a nice tackle in the open field. Wendell's going to be a really good football player, and it's good to get him in the game.
Well, the Panthers are now 1-1 as they get ready to travel to Happy Valley, the 100th ever meeting between Penn State and Pitt. We'll talk about that with Coach Narduzzi when we resume on Pitt Beyond the Script.
Hey guys, my name is Erak Kiza, junior forward on the Pitt men's soccer team.
That's a game winner for number 9, Edward Kiza!
I'd like to invite you to our next home games, Friday against Wake Forest and Monday against Akron. Hell to Pitt.
Block at the net by Ende, and the Panthers sweep this.
Welcome to PPG Paints Arena and tonight's volleyball matchup between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Pittsburgh Panthers, part of the Champions Volleyball Invitational. Pittsburgh was number 12 in the preseason poll. That's their highest preseason ranking in program history. Set to the right side, blocked up front. Ende and Stephanie Williams there. Now Kayla Lund fires one up there. Fires up and cranks it for the Panther point.
Mistake there, out of bounds.
Kayla Lund able to end the run. Ende gets the block there for the Panthers. And that'll do it as the Panthers earn the victory here at PPG Paints Arena, 25-19.
I think the main thought for us as I took over this program was when would be the best time? You're able to do this type of trip once every 4 years. So the very first thing was, when's the last time they did it? And when are we eligible to do it?
What's up, Panther fans? We're at the airport before we head to Italy. I'll check in when I get there.
But he over here make us laugh.
These trips are very beneficial because it gives you a chance to have the 10 practices, to play against competition, but also it gives you a chance, I think, to try to become a team.
Yeah, the Coliseum was crazy. We were honestly really tired the whole walking around, but it was awesome.
There's a second staircase in the arch on the left, the second one, all the way around.
It was huge. It was kind of scary because everything, it was kind of broken. Like it looked kind of broken because it was so old, but the way they built it, that's a big thing Coach tried to emphasize, building brick by brick.
In amongst the brickwork was like white stones sticking up in little groups of 4.
It was actually a great experience. It's like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Not many people are allowed to come to Italy and, you know, just come on tour and then also have a chance to play basketball with it. So it was a great experience, and I'm really enjoying it.
I think the Vatican, just looking up and seeing the beauty and trying to figure out, you know, how Michelangelo actually did this. How could he get up there and paint and at such a young age and to do those things?
The Vatican was pretty sweet. It was pretty big. You could tell a lot of money went into it. It was like, once we got in there, I think we got into the actual church where they were fellowship, and like the background, it was just straight gold.
One of the major things for this trip that was very, very beneficial for us is the teamwork process, or taking the proper steps to become a team. And so when you look at a place, especially a foreign place, you think about, okay, we're in a different country. It's a country that doesn't speak English, so it's going to force us to talk to each other more, to rely on each other more. Obviously, the games are great, but the camaraderie, the tours, the educational piece, all those are equally as important. I think they will appreciate it more as they get older. They're still 18 to 21, 22-year-old kids that don't have a lot of experience. So I think initially, they were blown away by it. And when we went to certain places, I think they were looking at the buildings and looking at the history, and that was a really cool thing to see.
It was more important for us off the court that trip, just so we get to know each other and goof around and be around each other all day and learn what each other likes and what they like to do, what they don't like to do. So I think that was really important for us as a team.
I think one of the biggest mistakes people make is that you automatically think, once you get new guys in or, you start a season that you're automatically a team. You have to work to become a team. You're a group of individuals that you're trying to understand and have one common goal. And so trying to use all these different things, again, to help teach, to help them learn, and to help us become a team.
Also lead 4 for Pitt.
They've been breaking school records right and left.
That will do it. Hail to Pittsburgh, the Panthers.
Pitt Beyond the Script, weekly on AT&T Sportsnet.
Oh, I didn't see you there. I'm Kate McKay.
And I'm Adina Donahue. I would like to invite you all to our next home game.
It's on Friday against Syracuse. Everyone's going to be there.
See you there.
The games were great. The first one was probably the most competitive. We played the Netherlands, and they were a good team. 2 days after we beat them, they went and beat Illinois. And so they were a very physical team. Obviously, it's guys that have already graduated from college that are either playing professional basketball or pursuing professional basketball somewhere overseas.
The first team we played, the Netherlands national team, was really good. They were older, stronger, a lot bigger than us, and they were a tough team. They were really tough, honestly. They were real physical.
We had been together, since the beginning of July, but to see them together in a foreign country, and now you have to rely on each other more, so the communication has to intensify. We want to expose them to everything, and we want to teach. I believe our responsibility as adults, as professional adults, and what we do, in this profession is we coach, but also we teach. And so a big part of the trip was doing that, was to talk about experiences and to expose them. Okay, this is what a pro does. This is what a pro looks like. This is how they work. I think we're more talented than we were last year. We have, I think, more quality depth than we did last year. One of the things that we wanted to see were, where are our returning guys? So we have 4 returning guys on the trip that were able to play. How are they? Like, where are they after a year with us and then a spring in the first part of the summer with our individual development program? Where are we right now? And I think those guys have gotten better. We wanted to see, after a month or so of working with our new guys, where are they? And to evaluate, okay, now we come back, here are the things that we need to work on.
First game, we didn't play well. And then as we got used to playing with each other, it just made me super excited for the season. And Coach Capel can tell you that. We're looking real good.
And so I think the trip gave us a great reference point of where we are now. I think it gave us great insight on what we need to work on going forward to make sure we're the best team that we can be this season.
You're watching Pitt Beyond the Script.
It's 6 a.m. We're running with Heather Leg for our conditioning today.
This morning I got invited to go run with the softball team, and we took them on a trek through Shenley Park. We're going to get up at 6:30 in the morning. We're going to go more than 2 miles.
I know that we were all a little nervous going into it because we don't really do long distance, but we feel really special and lucky that we got to join on her morning run. She was very interested in talking during the run while all of us were dying, but she kept bringing up different topics. She asked about our life here at Pitt, what we like to do, where we're from.
To do things with student athletes and actually, work out with them, I think that's really why we do what we do, is the chance to build relationships, and you get to know kids in a very different way. And sometimes you have to be pushed beyond your limit. And I remember in college I wasn't a big runner, and my college coach was, and so she would take us much further than I ever expected. And they did great, and they had never been through Shenley Park, and it's an absolutely beautiful part of our campus and community, and so it was fun to spend some time with them.
Hi, I'm Valerie Danielle, and you are watching Pitt Beyond the Script.
You're trained, ready to go. You know what to do. We go out and play loose today. We play fast. We're going to have fun today. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome back to Pitt Beyond the Script. Before we talk about Penn State, and we will talk about Penn State, special teams. Obviously, week 1, you had the block punt. This week, you had a lot of opportunities to receive punts. You forced them into 10 punts. I know you had the 1 penalty, but overall, how are you feeling about the special teams heading into week 3?
2 penalties, 2 holdings. I won't call out the names. And, we had some muff punts. So, we forced punts, and we got to change the field position with that, which even though we won the field position war, there's some things we could still do better. We got a chance, if he doesn't muff one, to take it to the house. We don't. So there's some of those things you see muffed and you see him getting tackled, but what did we do with it, or what would we have done with it? Those are things we look at as coaches. So we still got a ways to go in that unit as well.
The reason I bring that up is because we talked last week about the improvements from week 1 to week 2, and we clearly saw some. But you mentioned in your weekly press conference there are things, penalties, for example, that you think can still be cleared up. You think this team can make another sizable leap forward from week 2 to week 3?
Yeah, I sure do, Rob. I mean, I really do, just because you see some of the details that aren't there. And it takes time sometimes with a young football team to get those better, and hopefully we'll see that improvement this week.
This week is Penn State and Pitt. A 100th meeting. We don't know when number 101 is going to come down the pike. Unfortunately, you know what it means to the community. Do the players understand how big a rivalry this is as well?
I think they do. I mean, since this is going into our 4th year of playing this game, I think we've built things during the week of this game, so they kind of know how the coaches feel. They know what kind of game it is, but they also understand it doesn't matter as far as getting to a coastal championship or being in the ACC championship. They know it doesn't matter there, but it's really an in-state rivalry that it's a pride thing.
Oh, it's going to be fun, certainly. And let's take a look at Penn State. Sam Clifford is their quarterback. And we saw with Nathan Rourke, a dual-threat quarterback. You guys did a great job against him. And Clifford now, obviously, he's put up great numbers throwing the football, but he also leads the Nittany Lions in rushing as well.
Yeah, he's their leading rusher right now with, I think, 18 carries in the 2 games, and that'll be interesting. We hope he does run the ball. I think that's positive for our defense, and we look forward to that challenge. But the tailbacks are very explosive as well, so I'm sure they'll share it around, and we're going to see a lot of RPOs, run-pass options, with this style of offense.
Penn State, meanwhile, when you think about them, you think about, and you mentioned again in your weekly press conference, that front 7 on defense.
Yeah, it's a good front. It's a very good front, and we'll have to play well up front to win this football game.
And we're all looking forward to it, Coach. Best of luck.
Thanks, Rob.
This week against the Nittany Lions, 100th meeting ever between Pitt and Penn State. Stick around. We still have more to come on Pitt Beyond the Script.
Gritty, determined, and passionate. We're just willing to do whatever it takes to win. And girls are putting in 100% into tackles, into running. And if you don't have that, grittiness, then you're not going to be able to compete against UNC, Virginia, and the top schools in the nation.
We have to upgrade the talent pool that was here when we came. And I think we made a big leap with that for this year's team, bringing in 21 or so new players.
Girls from Germany, girls from England, girls from Iceland, Canada. I mean, it's just, that's what I wanted. I wanted something different. I wanted a new style of soccer, so.
We're going to be young, and with it comes some pitfalls as well and some learning.
One touch, here we go. Outside players have to adjust your body. Clear for 1 touch. Adjust your body.
Of that philosophy of how we want to play, our staff, we've got to do a really, really good job of us getting each player to understand what their role is within that system and the way we want to play. Because that's going to be real key for us. The conference that we're in is the best in the country, so there's no margin of error week in and week out with the ACC.
It's like the energy in the air. Everyone really wants this year to be the year that's like the Trailblazers. They want to talk about this 2019 team like years to come, that we're the team that set the standard for every other Pitt women's soccer team to come. And we need the passion now to be successful later. We need to be a team. We can't have one individual running the show. We need to be a collective unit, because once you get by one person, there needs to be another person right behind them. So if we're not a team, then that person just dribbles all the way and scores a goal. So if we're a team, then everyone's got each other's backs, and that's probably one of the most important things to have.
So we've got to kind of get them out of their comfort zone and get them to understand there is another level to get to. I think we've got a real chance to do that. They're all, for lack of a better word, soccer junkies. They love the game. They put the time in. They want to be successful. And it really all comes down to the players buying into your philosophy and buying into their role on the team. And the more that you get that are willing to sacrifice for the benefit of the team, that's when you got something special.
Thanks for watching Pitt Beyond the Script.